Ladies and gentlemen, your favorite sweet Zionist white colonists are coming to you live from the United States of America. We're looking at a clip from Victor Davis Hanson from the Daily Signal about Mahmoud Khalil. Let's take a look.
Well, this is Victor Davis Hanson for the Daily Signal. There's been a lot of frenzy in the news about the detention of Mahmoud Khalil. He's a former Columbia University student who was here on a student visa and then has married an American citizen and has recalibrated his visa to a green card. He's an Algerian citizen who grew up in Syria and Palestine, and he's the spokesman for something at Columbia University called the Columbia University Apartheid Divest, in which it suggests that no university should allow any investments with the so-called criminal state, apartheid state, as they call it, of Israel. Now, he was deported because his activity is in contrast to what the State Department guidelines suggest, and that is simply that they do not want to issue visas, whether green cards or student visas or other sort of visas, to people whose activity is in contrast or against the interest of the United States foreign policy. As I'm speaking, Hamas, who engineered the October 7th, 2023 massacre, still holds 5 American citizens as hostages. They will not release them, apparently. They're on record for the last 25 years as a State Department designated terrorist organization.
As they should be.
So the question is it fair for Mr. Khalil to go back to his home and lose his green card? The left and many on the libertarian right said this is a free speech issue. He can say whatever he wants. Yes, he was the spokesman for the Columbia University Apartheid Divest group. So what? He can say that he doesn't like Israel, that October 7th was a glorious occasion.
Correct.
If you look at the literature of his organization, it's very clear that they have called October 7th a wonderful event.
They glorified
and
it
B,
several times.
in the past, they've called for the eradication and destruction of Western civilization. Now, he may deny that, but that's what his organization has done. The president of Barnard University, the sister campus of Columbia University, about a week ago wrote an op-ed blasting Mr. Khalil's organization and said that they were responsible. That is, again, the Columbia University Apartheid Divest, of which he is their, I guess, official spokesman and negotiator, had caused over $30,000 of damage, vandalism to the Columbia-Barnard campus. They have on 2 occasions forcibly entered halls on the university campus and refused to leave.
You don't get to do that as a student, as somebody who's holding a student visa. Sorry, you're not offered the same freedoms as an American-born citizen. I think this is the whole, freedom of speech. I'm the biggest advocate for freedom of speech. Say whatever you want. Support Nazis, support Arab colonialism, support Islamic persecution of everybody who's not a Muslim Arab. Go for it. You want to do that as an American, that's your right. But it's not your right as a student visa holder. Absolutely not.
Illegally encamped on campus grounds, refused to leave, and he was the negotiator. So the question is this. It's very simple. Does he have a right as a resident to speak and do whatever he wants? As long as it's not criminal, he does. Does the State Department have a right to consider whether to issue a visa or a renewal of visa or a cancel visa, depending on whether the recipient is doing things in the interest of the United States, or I shouldn't say, is doing things contrary to the United States? And the answer is absolutely. Both sides are right. In other words, Marco Rubio and his State Department are just saying this. We issue thousands of visas to all sorts of people who say all sorts of things, and that's perfectly fine. Obnoxious, obscene, whatever they want to say under the First Amendment, because our courts have ruled that those who are residing in the United States have the same rights of free speech. However, We don't have to let people in the United States automatically. We make that decision on whether we feel they're in the interest of the United States or
Right.
they pose a danger to the United States.
And he definitely poses
So
a
both
danger.
sides are right. And all Mr. Rubio is saying is, Mr. Khalil, as the spokesman for Columbia University Apartheid Divest, has on numerous occasions supported groups that committed vandalism, that harassed Jews, and most importantly have called for the destruction of Western civilization and glorified a group that is designated by the U.S. State Department as a terrorist group. Now, he may deny that, but it's on record. Marco Rubio and the State Department put it in a pretty good way. They said it's something along the following lines, and I'm paraphrasing. If in 2022, when this Algerian citizen wanted to come to the United States as a guest and use our educational facilities to get a degree, and he had just said the following: I plan while I'm at Columbia to be part of the Columbia University Apartheid Divest Group, and I will condone or participate in takeovers of particular halls and facilities on the campus to prove my point or to advocate my position, which is to alienate, ostracize Israel. And if it comes up that there is another war in the Middle East, I will side with Hamas,
Right.
a known terrorist organization, as the State Department has defined it. Do you really think that we would allow that visa to be issued? And the answer is no. So yes, he can say everything he wants.
Well, Rubio said, actually, he said exactly, he said he would hope that that visa would not be issued.
His activity has consequences. It wasn't
Correct.
what he said, but it was what he did.
Correct.
And he now gets his wish. He can go back to the Middle East and be a strong advocate for Hamas in closer proximity to it. Thank you very much. This is Victor
Great.
Davis Hanson for the Daily Signal.
That is a great way to end it, saying you can go back, be an advocate where you belong, there in the Middle East. Go keep causing your shitty culture to expand over there. Let me add just a little bit of nuance here, okay? I want to add one more thing. Khalil, Mahmoud Khalil, comes from a lineage. I believe Victor said he was an Algerian born. I didn't know he was Algerian born. I thought he was a Syrian Palestinian. I thought he was a Palestinian born Syrian, or a Palestinian that was born in Syria that has moved to the United States to pursue the student visa. Utmost shittiest culture on planet Earth right now exists in the Arab world. Supremacy, colonialism, racism. I expose it here on my channel on a regular basis. You guys know I'm unapologetically critical of the Arab world. Unapologetically critical. This culture, by default, is shitty. If you come here to America, if you want to come to the United States of America and study at Columbia University, you better damn be sure that you are coming to escape the horrors of your shitty culture and propagate a new reality for yourself and for your people. Not feed right back into the same shitty culture you came from. That serves zero interest of the United States of America, neither in your home cities, in your home country, nor here. You should not be coming to Columbia University from a faraway land in the Middle East and leaving and going to propagate more of the shitty ideology you came in with. You should be coming here with a yearning to learn about Western civilization and to hopefully expand that ideology. And if you don't do that specific thing, you're not serving the purposes of the United States of America or of what we hope to serve for, and I said we as an American, but what we hope to serve for your country, which is hopefully getting to a newer point or a better point of reality for your people and for your nations. And we should be unapologetic about that. I mean, I've been unapologetic about day one when this case came out. I said, deport him. Not because I have a personal bone to pick with him. There's thousands of people just like him in the United States of America. I don't think we need to deport all of them, but make an example out of him. Make sure people know that if you support Hamas and you're not a citizen of this country, there's going to be serious ramifications to that. You don't get to just walk around all willy-nilly supporting terrorist groups. Sorry. We can't be, we need to be unapologetic about it. We need to stand up strong and say, you can't support terror on the streets of America if you're not a citizen. Okay, I mean, you shouldn't be doing it as a citizen, but I guess you're allocated more rights as a citizen. But you don't get that right. You can do it. It's covered under your First Amendment rights, but you don't get the right to extend your visa over and over again if you're going to do that. And it's exactly the same case. If you came and announced at the door, hey, I'm Mahmoud Khalil, I'm going to support terrorist groups, I'm going to support October 7th, and if there's another conflict in the Middle East, I'll support all the Iranian-backed proxies. I'll support the Houthis, I'll support Hezbollah, I'll support Hamas. What interest, for God's sake, what interest does that have to the United States of America? What purpose does that serve? Speaking of the United States of America, for those of you guys who are watching my channel, I'm currently in the US on the streets of America. I'm creating content here. I'm also going on speaking tour here in the United States of America. If you want me to come to your local college, synagogue, church, whatever it be, shoot me an email right now. Let me know where you want me to come speak. If you have any contacts to put us in touch, we're super interested to come and expand the message of Mizrahi Jewish heritage, the Jewish people, the war that's been going on in Israel right now. We just did a month-long tour in the Caribbean that we had to do kind of in secrecy, but it was a huge success. So if you want me to come speak to your local community anywhere in the United States of America, specifically in South Florida where I am right now, I'd love to come to you and bring the message to you. And I will see you guys in the next one. I love you long time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye, Klats. If you believe in my content and want to support me, just know your help is needed. There's a bunch of great ways to support me, being PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or joining my Patreon community down below. Patreon is the best way to support my channel, and you'll get a bunch of cool perks depending on what tier you join. Another great way to support me is by buying my merchandise on thetravelingclat.com. I regularly drop new merch designs like this beautiful hat, or this amazing shirt, where you can support the channel and get something cool for yourself. I also have an amazing Discord community with people from all over the world. Thank you so much for your support.